Hi, I'm Vince Slaugh at Cornell University. This research takes a look at the U.S. child welfare system and one of its most critical operations, how to find families for children in foster care who need adoptive placements. Each year, the child welfare system serves over 500,000 of society's most vulnerable children. We focus on the 65,000 children in need of adoptions due to a court-ordered termination of parental rights. Getting families for these children, even if they are teenagers, has been shown as crucial to reduce the risk of homelessness, incarceration, and other unfortunate life outcomes. Children waiting to be adopted have spent an average of almost 3 years in foster care, and each year almost 20,000 children age out of foster care without a family. Getting these children to permanency is a major public policy priority. Florida spent over $28 million last fiscal year just on services to try to place approximately 4,000 children in need of adoptions. Our work models this search and matching operation. In particular, we seek to understand an interesting innovation we heard about in early 2020 from a multi-county child welfare agency in Florida. Their previous approach was to announce available children to a pool of families and let them respond if interested. However, the agency found this process operationally inefficient. Already overburdened caseworkers were overwhelmed by the need to consider and respond to every family who expressed interest, a requirement in state statutes. Families also found this process emotionally grueling. One prospective father shared his experience.
Basically, you put your life on hold and you have your hopes set on this one particular child that you've fallen in love with their profile and their picture, and you dream every day and night and go to sleep hoping that this kid is the one. And every time that happened for me, 30 to 45 days later, I would find out that I wasn't chosen. And so there's this tremendous sense of disappointment, rejection, and why didn't they choose me? And so I went through that process over and over and over again for about 2+ years.
However, the agency we interviewed had recently found success by following a new paradigm. Enabled by a matching platform, the agency let children's caseworkers drive the search process to reach out to families who had appeared to be good matches based on a questionnaire that families filled out. While there were many positive anecdotes from this new approach, including the prospective father whom we quoted being successfully matched within only a few weeks, the implementation was still in its early stages, and adoptions often take years to finalize. So we decided to study this invert the outreach phenomenon with a game theory model. That model accounts for families and children's utilities, search costs, and random and heterogeneous match quality. We compared the family-driven search strategy to the child caseworker-driven search strategy to find that the child caseworker-driven approach can Pareto dominate the family-driven approach in equilibrium. However, it can't be true that the family-driven approach Pareto dominates the caseworker-driven approach, so we hypothesized the caseworker-driven approach may have real advantages in practice. To test that hypothesis, we checked back with the agency in Florida a few years later and analyzed the case outcomes for all 369 children at that agency who needed family finding services between 2018 and 2023. Data on over 10,000 Florida children provided us with a benchmark that accounts for each child's race, age, gender, and the year when parental rights were terminated. Using this data, we made individualized predictions of each child's likelihood of a finalized adoption over different time horizons, aggregated them, and created a benchmark for the population of children served by the agency. We then compared this benchmark to the agency's actual record of finalized adoptions, the vast majority of which directly resulted from the child's caseworker driving the search process using recommendations from the matching platform. Ultimately, we found that the agency beat the benchmark by 17%, considering finalized adoptions within 3 years of the termination of parental rights order. This represents an extra 24 finalized adoptions within 3 years that we predict would not have happened if the agency had stuck with its existing approach. Especially since process innovation is notoriously difficult within the world of child welfare, allowing children's caseworkers to drive the search process rather than families could be a major breakthrough for supporting caseworkers as they do their jobs and try to help as many vulnerable children as possible to find families.